Hello, we are going to talk about dialogue today. I'm just going to step outside. All right, so I'm going to walk you through some steps, and then you're going to try something on your own, okay? All right, so let me present here. Okay, so we are going to be looking at some mentor texts for dialogue. So I just let's review the steps. You read the text, whether it's a sentence or a longer piece. What do you notice about how it's made? You are reading like a writer. What craft moves does the writer use? Then mark it up. What did the writer use? And this is a sentence we did in class. So interesting punctuation, things you might notice, word choice, sentence length, capitalization, formatting, interesting language. The list is going to get longer. And once you mark it up and notice those craft moves, the next step, which is really important, is to jot down author's purpose. Why did they use these craft moves? So, for example, a writer uses specific nouns to reveal character. If that's the purpose, when I have the same purpose, I can use those craft moves. So when I'm trying to reveal character, I can use specific nouns. Okay, so today we're going to look at dialogue. Writer writes dialogue to help readers know who's talking, what they're saying, how they say it. It reveals character traits and feelings, what a person's like. Dialogue has its own set of punctuation and formatting rules. And that's really what we're looking at. One of the big things we're looking at. All right, so a dialogue tag is the tag, like tag you're it. It's the tag that identifies who's speaking. So you can see in this first one, it says Christina said, and you introduce the quote with a comma, and then all the words that the writer says, the character says, are inside quotation marks. Okay, and then you keep the punctuation inside the quotation mark. Sometimes you might choose, or a writer might choose to put the dialogue tag at the end, and that works too. So you would set that off again with a comma, unless it's an exclamation point or a question mark. And you'll still need to put a period after said, or whatever verb you use. And then sometimes you might choose to have the dialogue tag in the middle. And again, you set it off with a comma. If it's a new sentence, you start a new sentence, but you keep it with the quotation marks. And then if it's a continued sentence, you just continue the sentence, but you set the dialogue tag off with commas. Okay. In a minute, you're going to have a chance to read like a writer and mark this text up. This is from Al Capone Does My Shirts. So you can see every time a new person speaks, a writer indents, and that's how a writer tells the reader who is speaking, that a new person is speaking. And this is especially important when sometimes dialogue goes back and forth without dialogue tags, right? It's freezing. It's winter. What do you expect? I'm hungry. Didn't you eat lunch? So if that was all in one big line, you really wouldn't know who's talking. So to let your reader know that a character is speaking, indent every time a new character speaks. And if you're typing, you just hit the tab. You start a quotation with a capital letter, put all the words that a character says between quotation marks. Punctuation goes inside the quotation marks. And use speech tag, unless it's a quick back and forth. And always use the right dialogue, capitalization, and punctuation. And I will give you a little cheat sheet that looks just like this, just so you'll have reminders. And now you're going to have a chance to read like a writer and do this. And then You are going to write a dialogue between two characters in this scene or from your imagination. Each character needs to say at least 2 lines of dialogue, include at least 60 words, and keep your cheat sheet handy just to make sure that you're using the capitalization, punctuation, that you indent every time a new person speaks. And I will see you soon. Have fun.